in chapter 4 here is program design. So I want to touch on this. The power region program that I have created for you guys really is the application of this. So I'm going to go through this relatively quickly, just as a quick summary of what the program design is: remodel, reprogram, condition, enhance, just so you have a little better understanding. So remodel, true remodeling in my mind is getting manual work. And there's a big difference between compression and tension, as I wrote in the book. If you're going to remodel a soft tissue, the only way I know, and I've been taught, to actually change the length, tension, structure of a tissue so that it is moving in a way that it was designed to move. If a muscle is short and tight, there's a very specific technique that requires high tension to change the literal structure of the tissue to put it back to where it's supposed to be as far as the length of the tissue. The best analogy I can give you is if I had a giant knot in my shirt, right? Stretching my shirt is not going to change this knot. I got to go in here and apply very specific techniques to make this scar tissue, as an example, part of the entire chain, the fibers of this whole shirt or the musculature, right? Tension, very high tension, and it's even referred in some techniques as an internal glide, that changes the structure. You don't, and just a quick note, you don't get rid of scar tissue, you just realign scar tissue. Tension is what works. Compression can increase blood flow, and it doesn't mean that compression doesn't play a role in body work, but these two things are very different. So when I'm referring to remodeling, okay, if it needs to be done, which you guys read about some of the cases where we don't want to remodel something, the case with Alana, my case study. If I need to remodel, then I'm going in there to literally remodel the soft tissue. And when you remodel something, you shouldn't have to keep doing it over and over again. Okay. And the best analogy I got for that for you is if you had a forest in your backyard and you asked me to come in and bulldoze a path, remodel the forest so that I could walk through it, knock down some trees, that's remodeling, okay, with tension. Now, once I knock down those trees, I don't come back a week, 2 weeks, even 5 months later, and the trees are back, right? Now, if you haven't walked the path and you haven't done some maintenance, meaning you've just walked the path and used it, some brush can start to accumulate and you might need to go there and flush it out, but I don't need to knock trees down again, okay? So when I say remodel, I'm literally talking about a pseudo-permanent change in the soft tissue. Nothing's permanent. If it was permanent, then I wouldn't be able to help you to begin with. Soft tissues regenerate. They literally turn over. You have new soft tissues periodically throughout your life, constantly regenerating, dying off, and rebuilding. So there's a process, there's a cycle of regeneration in the body. And so remodel is literally changing the tissue, okay? And the only way I know how to do that is with hands-on work. Now, obviously, I can't reach through the screen and do remodeling if you need it. So in the program, we use balls, we use foam rollers, we use different types of bodywork, self-bodywork techniques that can help you clear the runway a little bit. Getting a deep tissue massage, getting any kind of body work can be helpful, okay? And so I give you those as alternatives if you don't have somebody that knows how to do this type of work. And on my website in the future, Health to Vitality, I'm going to have a whole network of professionals that do this work so that you can engage with them all over the country, because they're out there, they're phenomenal, and I'm going to give you the resources for that. So stay tuned for that. I'm putting that together while I'm putting these videos together. I'm also putting that together for all of you. So stay tuned for that if it's not up there yet. All right. So that's remodel, clear the runway. Once you clear the runway, then you got to reprogram. So you got to teach the body what to do with the new motion. That could be like a stretch like this. So this is a picture of me from back in the day doing a calf stretch, which you will learn here in the Power Region program. And you'll notice you're not going to see, you can't see it very well, but I'm in a doorway. I'm holding on. There's a lot of points of stability, and I'm very gently teaching the body what to do with the motion that I just created. So you remodel it, but then you got to reprogram. You teach the nervous system what to do with this new range of motion. Because if you've ever gotten remodeling work done for me, when I remodel something, you get off the table and you feel a little wobbly, right? Because it's called naive range of motion. People walk around and like, whoa, man, like, woo. It's almost like I have a hip high. I think a couple people would refer to it as if I worked on their hips, right? So remodel is slowly teaching the body what to do with the new motion, okay? And then we go into conditioning it. So now this is a more dynamic. My foot, I've decreased my points of stability. I've taken my foot off the chair, and I'm actually, you'll see in the power region program, I'm actually moving my body dynamically, teaching my foot and ankle what to do with this motion in a more dynamic fashion, and building, I'm conditioning the area to be able to get stronger to maintain the range of motion and the reprogramming that was created. So it gets a little bit tougher, right? Conditioning. Now, the last piece is enhancement. In enhancement, it gets very dynamic. So here, this is me and Pavla, who helped me with these videos back in the day, where we're going through a very dynamic movement, which is enhancing. We're putting the whole body into it. It's starting to look a little bit more like real life situations. I mentioned in the book, like with my athletes, I would really put them in challenging positions because they would be in challenging positions, especially basketball players and volleyball players when it came to ankle sprains. Like, we really had to challenge their system to be able to maintain any range of motion that we created through the corrective movement phase, okay? So remodel, reprogram, condition, enhance. This is the overall way we program design, and you'll see this in the Power Regions program. I'm going to take you through this and this whole thing, this whole model for the foot and ankle, the hip, and the T-spine. So check out the Power Regions program if you haven't yet. It's another module in this course here.